landing. Oh my! Doesn't matter. That is a. So some people assert the shots from the corner. Cooper again. How about these guys? Cooper. Look at this. Look. Oh yes! And this kid can't miss.
And to see DJ as a true freshman do that against Georgetown in that kind of setting was great. It was terrific. It was one of those games you'll always remember, because here's this plucky little kid, and there's a photo in the coach's office where he's walking down the floor beside the big center from Georgetown, 7-footer. And DJ's got this big smile on his face, and the Georgetown center's got this big frown on his face. And that picture really sums up that game, that the high energy little guy going in and taking out the big program, the big bully on the block from a monster program in the Big East.
Donnell Cooper II, known as DJ, grew up in the south suburbs of Chicago, Illinois.
2 years old and you bought one of those little tikes things. Yeah. And then we had it all the way down for him to throw the ball in. And he was making everyone, he kept saying, "Want it up all the way." And then we backed up all the way, and he was throwing. He wasn't really shooting, he was throwing it, but he was making it.
I bought a blue, yellow, and red baskets. And it seems like ever since that time, he's just been so fascinated with the game, so dedicated with the game, that it was, like I say, phenomenal.
I remember me playing, in my room in the backyard and stuff with the rim, 6, 7 feet, and sometimes it'd be kind of easy. So, I have him, just lift the rim up, raise it up.
He's always loved basketball. From literally, he was 2 years old, and he's always loved basketball. He'd make anything a net. He'd have people hold their arms and he'd throw socks through them. And then by the time he was in 4th or 5th grade, he was breaking records.
By the time he entered high school, it was clear that this talented 14-year-old had what it took to run the point in the Windy City.
The competitiveness in Chicago, if you're going to play point guard in the city of Chicago, it takes a special, you have to be tough.
Just competitive, good guards, it's every night you have to bring, it's going to be another good guard, and if you don't bring it, you're going to hear about it, and that's not going to feel too good.
As a freshman at Hales Franciscan, Coop caught the eye of assistant coach Brandon Thomas.
Just the first day of school, calling his name out, little skinny, short kid. I didn't even know he played basketball probably until maybe a month into the year when, some conversation came up about it and about him, and I was like, this little guy is a basketball player? I still remember the first day that I saw him practice. I was a varsity coach, and he was playing with the freshmen and the sophomore team, and in probably about a 5-minute span, he had about 10 assists. And it wasn't just the fact that he was, giving out assists. It was the things that he saw. There's no way you're supposed to be able to see those types of things as a 14-year-old.
The bond Coop and Thomas developed at Hales Franciscan transcended that of player and coach.
I wasn't going to be a father figure for DJ. I mean, his dad is in his life and he has his grandfather, so I guess I kind of filled that void or role of like a big mentor, brother type.
Probably my older brother, always give me advice, even when it's, not what you want to hear, he just keeps me steady, focused, and always just somebody, another male, a man to, talk to.
I was at DJ's house a lot for barbecues, and he was at he'd come over my house and I'd beat him up in Madden.
So when Thomas took the head coaching job at nearby Seton Academy before DJ's senior year, his point guard came with him.
When I decided to come over here, which was real tough because obviously it was going into his senior year, I had my personal reasons for doing so, but once he found out about it, he just was like, hey, I want to play for this guy. We started out 8-2. And from that point on, we didn't lose another game. You know, it was a close group of guys. Even though, you know, DJ came in for 1 year, he knew he knew everybody that was here because, you know, this was more of his neighborhood that he grew up in. So it was kind of like he was coming home to the south suburbs of Chicago, and you know, the team just bonded right away.
In 2009, at Seton Academy, Coop averaged 14 points a game, 9 assists, and 3.5 steals. He hit game-winning or game-tying shots 8 times that year.
Look out, here comes Cooper ahead of the field. Got it. Take a ball over the top here. Makes a good point guard, court vision.
So, we don't turn the ball over when we got 3, we're in the finals tomorrow.
In the postseason, Coop and Thomas beat their former school, Hales Franciscan, and never won a game by less than 20 points on the way to the Illinois Class 2A state title game.
In the state final, just to show you what type of player he was. I mean, he had 10 rebounds, 12 assists, and 6 points.
I don't even think he was trying to score, really. He just wanted, I mean, it seemed like some of his assists, you know, I'd be like looking one way and he sees something else, you know. I was like, I don't even see how he sees. That was a magical year, you know. Still can remember, it seemed like it was just yesterday.
That was really one of the most memorable times, certainly in my life, that we've ever experienced.
When the year was over at Seton, DJ had led them to their only state title and permanently left his mark on Chicago's South Side.
Number 2, DJ Cooper.
Everybody loved him. You can't go anywhere in Chicago and say, hey, last 5 years, name me the top 5 point guards. Yeah, everybody's list is going to start with Derrick Rose, maybe Sharon Collins, but then you're not going to get far before you hear DJ Cooper's name.
Ohio head coach John Gross, then in his first year, pursued DJ to headline his first recruiting class, but Coop's arrival in Athens almost didn't happen.
I kind of know he was like a brand new coach coming into the recruiting period kind of late, and he actually saw me at the Peach Jam, I think it was, in South Carolina.
It was when I actually went and I was headed to Augusta, Georgia, to the Nike Peach Jam.
And so it was a lot of anticipation of him, to see him leading up into the Peach Jam event, which is in Georgia, South Carolina, Augusta, Georgia, or something like that. I think it's right on the border, but nevertheless.
I was headed to watch a front court player play, and he happened to be in the same pool at the Peach Jam. DJ played for an AAU team called Mean Streets, and I actually saw him play against this kid, and once I saw him, I was intrigued, came back, saw him play a second game in that same pool that he was playing in, and then that's when I called the staff and said, hey, this is the guy.
My first impression was, like, this dude's care, he's passionate about, I never even heard about Ohio before, Coach Gross had called me and stuff like that, and he got the trust from my parents, and he got me confident and showed me he believed in me.
He called me and said, Coach, this is my guy.
John Gross did call me, and he's kind of got the gruff voice, and he goes, "Hi, Miss Cooper. My name is John Gross, and I've heard great things about your son, and I kind of want to talk to you."
Not everybody can play that point guard position for us. Sometimes even guys that they say, hey, he's a point guard, probably is in a lot of systems, but our system's a little bit unique with the speed that we play at. And I felt like that he could be able to be a guy that would be effective in full court situations as well as half court.
It was important for John to get his type of point guard in, to run the program, to run the offense, to push pace and push the team in the direction he wanted it to go. And right from the start, I think he thought DJ was going to be a key part of that.
Coop's instinct and vision was the ideal fit for the coach's pro-style offense. And Gross's genuine interest and disposition was the perfect fit for DJ and his family.
Coach Gross and DJ have always had a high level of trust right from the get-go. John has let DJ have the green light virtually from day one since he stepped on campus in terms of basketball. They've let DJ run the show. They gave him the keys to the car, so to speak, right off the bat, and for the most part, he's delivered everything they've wanted.
One thing about DJ, man, I mean, he values loyalty. I mean, so much.
John Gross has been nothing but a man of his word. He didn't come in, a lot of coaches come in like slimy car salesmen. John Groves, from the moment that I spoke with him, again with the gruff voice, and I kind of imitate him, but it's all in love. You know, he goes, you know, Deon, I'm just gonna be honest with you, you know, I love your son. I love your son's style. And from those words, I felt that they were sincere.
Trust might be the best word that describes our relationship, both on and off the court. And sometimes, you know, he may not like what I have to say or what I'm thinking, but I'm always gonna tell him the truth.
He's like a second father, like literally, you know. If you ever need him for anything, as much as he can help you, he's gonna be there, you know. Answer the phone for you, you know, reach out to you, whatever.
Coop immediately found himself in the starting lineup as the Bobcats' point guard. But with Stephen Coleman and Jay Kinney being kicked off the team and Armand Bassett and Devon Washington missing time for suspension, the task of pulling the team out of adversity fell largely on the shoulders of DJ.
I made the decision that we were going to ride with him, and you know, through ups and downs. And all freshmen have ups and downs.
He was like, man, I'm a freshman. You know, I remember him saying, I'm a freshman. Like, I'm not supposed to be, you know, the person who's carrying the team.
I kind of went through a freshman slump, you know, homesick, you know, not playing as well, you know. I can remember around the time when we played Delaware, you know, I was, you know, I really wasn't into it as much, you know.
That was a stretch where, you know, every other conversation was, oh, I should have went here, or I should have went there.
If DJ was at all uneasy, it didn't show on the court. He led the team in minutes, starts, and assists, and was a second leading scorer and rebounder.
One of the reasons he played so well at the end of that year was because he was, you know, indoctrinated by fire a little bit.
You know, it kind of was a crazy year, you know, just, you know, had different things happening, and, you know, just had, we had to grow up a little bit.
He's always been sort of a floor general type of guy, you know, going back to prep school, or going back to his prep days in high school. So him being asked to kind of be front and center and directing that Ohio offense his freshman year, you know, I don't think it was a big adjustment for him.
DJ was at that time a talented freshman, kind of trying to learn the ropes, and was able to cut her loose and play.
As a 9 seed, the Bobcats took the postseason by storm, upsetting 4 teams en route to an improbable MAC championship, earning them a matchup against the 3rd-seeded Georgetown Hoyas in the NCAA tournament.
Number 3 seed Georgetown Hoyas out of the Big East. They'll take on the Bobcats of Ohio, and you guys are going dancing.
His whole thing was, hey, you know, I'm gonna go put an OU on the map. You know, and this was before he learned about, you know, Gary Trent and all these other people, but he thought he was going to put OU on the map. And I remember teasing him for a long time. I'm from Texas, and so Texas and OU is a big rivalry, Oklahoma. And I was like, man, you can't say OU. There's only one OU. He said, when I get done, there'll be only one OU.
You know, we kind of had mixed emotions coming into the game. Like, you know, we knew it's Georgetown, you know, we see them on TV all the time, and it was exciting, you know, being the underdog, you know, not only having, you know, a few hundred fans, you know, travel from Rhode Island. It was exciting, you know, it's a good feeling.
You know, whenever he's considered to be the underdog is when, to me, he's excelled.
I called all my coworkers and my friends. I was still working at the time, and told them, said, hey, look, you're looking for an upset. Is going to be the Bobcats playing, I believe, number 3. Georgetown was number 3.
You know, and after a few shots just got to going down, you know, just, you know, confidence, and, you know, we got the momentum going.
Drifted away from right, runs to the goal, alley-oop, bam! Devon Washington, rock that rim, youngster!
And Ohio's 97-83 dismantling of the Big East power, the wiry freshman from the south side of Chicago had 23 points on 8 of 12 shooting, with 5 3-pointers and a game high of 8 assists.
Right, holds it low, takes a Washington pick, goes to the point, now to the foul line, low block, left, way up, yes! It's back to double figures, and that's a huge shot. This is really happening. The Bobcats have just done it. The Bobcats are Cinderella men. The slipper fits, and it's green.
You know, it probably hit me when we woke up the next day and the guys' pictures were on the front page of USA Today.
Everybody was just shocked. They was like, Ohio? Georgetown? Who's this kid? So everybody was like wondering. And then all my friends was like, you know, my friends that are guys, they was like, man, that dude DJ Cooper. And I was like, oh, my brother. And they was like, that's your brother? Oh, I didn't even put that together. And I was, yeah, that's DJ.
Went to the tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they come in as a top seed. Came to the tournament, beat Georgetown. That was something I've never experienced. You know, and it was nice.
Long season. He's playing his 33rd, 34th game at that time, so he was beat up. He was a little tired. He was, you know, his ankle was sore, his knee was sore, those kinds of things. So it was surprising that he came out so well against Georgetown. What isn't so surprising is when the lights are brightest, the game's the biggest, he always tends to play his best ball.
You know, it made us proud, you know, proud to be at OU, you know, it made us proud for the students, you know, the faculty, you know, just to, you know, put OU on the map.
His vision is his gift at both ends. Vision, you either have it or you don't.
Clear your mind, tend your, there you go.
I'm a tree.
Yeah, sure, you're a tree on Court Street. Very perceptive tree. Someone comes up to you and goes, DJ Cooper, what's the first thing, period, that comes to your mind?
Passing.
How do you train a kid to pass? You can't do that in the gym one-on-one when you're working out. When you're working out in the gym, you're working out on shooting and you're working out on dribbling, you know, so those are things that is just a natural thing that you really can't teach, but when you get it as a coach, guy, you know, it just makes your team so much better. So,
on occasion, he does astound me with some of the moves and the vision that he has.
Has he always had that vision?
He's always had it, even as a, and once again, for the most part, as I can remember, as a real young man, he was always the smallest guy out there on the court. So he, you know, he made up for whatever. I mean, his speed was always there, but that vision is just phenomenal.
Honestly, when I think about what he did, I can't think of any one basket that he scored. It was always the passes. I mean, this guy could throw alley-oops and whatnot just with his eyes closed. And it was those things that he did that just made people go, wow. I mean, you never seen or heard a crowd give as many oohs and ahs just because of the way a kid is passing the ball.
His ability to make you go, oh man, with a pass, not a dunk, not a 25-foot jumper, but just his ability to whip a ball over a defender's head into a tight window and get a layup for somebody else.
I'll be looking one way and I'll be like, oh, that's a turnover, but it'll be a pass, you know. So, you know, and he's always been like that, though. I mean, always. It's like his court vision is outrageous.
It's just something he got.
Yeah, you can't teach that. It's just a blessing.
Like when he was younger, that's all he used to do was pass. And it actually got to a point where my dad was in the backyard with him like, okay, you have a shot. Don't be afraid to take it.
He's a high risk taker. That's what makes him such a good passer. It's why he gets so many assists. He's a gambler. I mean, it's just, you know, that's who he is.
Threw it away. Cooper stole it away right of the paint. He could set the steal record today, too. Pitch to Hall, banker, yes! And there's the record. DJ Cooper has set the all-time assist record in Ohio University history. Figuratively enough and fittingly enough, it would come on a steal, stroll, and a drop of a dime.
The 22-year-old record was previously held by Dennis Whitaker. And with 1 year remaining in his Ohio career, DJ will shatter that mark.
I want to congratulate DJ on breaking the school record for assists. I mean, there's been a lot of really good players at Ohio University, and for him to break that record before his junior year is even completed is an amazing accomplishment.
He's always been unselfish. I mean, always. It's nothing that he doesn't share. He loves to share. That's just his character. That's his nature.
I just try to find the seams. I just try to find the opening, and I just like to make guys better. I like to see my guys dunk. I like to see Nick and Walt hit threes and stuff like that.
He's been getting in the lane here and just dishing it over his left shoulder and he's not even looking at me. So I'm kind of confused on how he just knows where I am, and he knows where I'm supposed to be, and I just try to get there and make a shot for him.
His ability to make other people on the floor better, I think, is the attribute that he brings and that elevates him above anyone else that's wearing green and white.
He's been talking crap since the bottle has been hanging out of his mouth.
I guess it's just a little Chicago in me, just chippiness. I like to compete.
And you better not say nothing to him. I know that. If you don't want to hear him, just be quiet and keep playing. And even if you're getting the best of him, he won't forget it.
On the court, DJ is definitely not a quiet guy. He's a guy where his mouth is going a lot of the time. And a lot of time he's working it from the angle of, not getting respect.
Being 5'11", 5'8", and coming in high school, you gotta, try some different type of tactics, to, try to, weaker your opponent.
When there's a personal matchup for him, then he's all in. He's, even in your conference, he talks about certain teams because certain teams have good guards. If a certain team has a big 7-footer, and they don't have guard play, he's not as, locked in, other than the fact that he just wants to win. It's just a part of his swagger.
Talk to me about Mr. Cooper. Is that it?
Yeah. Well, he has come in here and done a little bit of his thing and disrespected kind of what we do here. So it's a little internal. I wouldn't say rivalry, but we definitely want to get OU.
Cooper and some of our guys have kind of gotten into it a little bit. They beat us up a couple times now, and previously we had beaten them up a little bit. And I just think there's no love lost.
First of all, I'm really not, here for Akron or anybody. I'm not here to be like, honestly, besides my teammates.
And if I would say anything to DJ, I will tell him one of these days when I see him, and I've told him this before. I said, now your temper gonna get you in trouble. And I don't mind telling other players that.
He's not my favorite player, I'll put it that way.
What is it about him that would make him not your favorite player?
He is temperamental and a bit whiny at times, and will complain if he doesn't get every call his way.
If I get all the fans, I must be doing something right.
That doesn't make him a well-liked player, I think, in a lot of places around the league, but you'd be hard-pressed to find a coach in the conference that wouldn't say in a second, yeah, I'd take DJ Cooper as my team's point guard.
It's really no hard feelings. It's just, between the lines, I'm down with the green and white.
If you could name one person on the Ohio men's basketball team, who would it be?
DJ Cooper.
DJ Cooper?
Definitely DJ Cooper.
I would say Cooper.
DJ Cooper for sure.
DJ Cooper. DJ Cooper, definitely.
There are moments with DJ Cooper where fans hate him. There are moments when fans love him. But no matter what, they know him.
He drives you mad with some of those deep threes he takes. And that's been the one thing he's had to fight and kind of combat each of his years here, is to judge when to give the ball up, what's a good shot, what's a bad shot.
Sometimes he takes some early ones and I'm just like, what are you doing? But they go down and you just got to give him respect. He hits them.
A lot of times, when he first used to take a couple of those shots, I'd ask him what he was thinking. He's thinking about, going for the jugular. And there were times where he gets the ball at the end of the shot clock and it's like, go make a play. Well, that's hard to do. It's hard to do. He gets stuck with it some. That's what point guards do.
He blames a lot of his bad shots and whatnot on the fact that there's a shot clock, where the ball always ends up in my hand. I have to shoot it. Yeah, right.
And it's just the nature of the beast. When you're a good player like DJ and you're a coach, people are gonna pat you on the back probably excessively when things are going well, and that's probably not right. And they're gonna hammer you in the back and stab you in the back sometimes when things aren't going well. Some people are like that.
He's headstrong. He's going to make his mind up, and once he makes his mind up, that's what's going to happen. He's going to think the plan through and then execute the plan. when he misses those shots, there's nothing a fan can do or say to him because he beats himself up more than anyone else could ever.
I'm ready for the blame, and you know, when you're doing good, people gonna congratulate you. When you're not, you know, they're gonna bash you. So, you know, it just comes with it.
You know, Coach Gross, I've seen him have to grab him and say, hey, it's okay, it's okay. I trusted you to make that shot. I trusted you.
When I'm playing, you know, I try to give what the defense gives me. You know, I felt like they were sagging off, and I felt like I could, you know, knock the shot down. I'm pretty much gonna take it.
Fueling fan criticism of his ego is the mantra, "In Coop We Trust," that is posted on his own Twitter page.
Actually, my little sister, she made it up. You know, she always texts me after the game and stuff like that, and I had a pretty good game after one game. You know, I had a bad game the game before, and then I, you know, came back. You know, she sent me a text and told me, "I'm sure everybody's gonna love you now, haha, in Coop We Trust." So, you know, I just kind of ran with it from there.
I believe Dana, his sister, gave that to him, gave him that title. Started us saying that because they have a real good special relationship, and he's always looked out for Dana, and Dana has always been one of his most avid supporters.
I can go to him with things that I can't go to my mom and my dad about, and he'll talk to me about it if it's school, boys, anything. He'll talk to me about it.
I'm very proud of him. In DJ Coop, I trust.
Despite occasional dissent from program followers, those close to DJ insist that he cares most about the aspect of the game that will cement his legacy.
That's the most difficult thing as a coach now, to get players to be about winning with so many outside people and, you know, pulling on them and telling them, you know, hey, you need to be this, you need to do that. You know, with DJ, he was just comfortable with who he was. He wasn't thinking about where he was ranked or where he was going to go to college. He just wanted to win.
I don't even think he think about that stuff when he comes into the game. You know, I think he'd rather see a W up there more than anything.
You know, I've always said freshmen, you know, all they care about is playing time. Sophomores, all they care about is starting. Juniors, all they care about is statistics. Seniors care about winning. You know, he's a junior, but he really plays like he's a fifth-year senior.
Ohio's former all-time assist leader Dennis Whitaker played with the school's 2 top scorers of all time. Over 4 years, they were 54 and 61. The DJ Cooper-led recruiting class of 2009 is 65 and 38.
You know, DJ and his classmates all they were the first recruiting class. You know, right now they've won 64 games. You know, the all-time record at Ohio for a class to play 4 years and total wins is 87. So those guys are on pace to have a chance to do that by the time their careers finish. And I think that consistency, especially this year as a junior, with him being a junior, and next year, you know, are what we've been looking for in terms of building it.
I definitely hear a young man now when I'm talking to him, and not a kid. His legacy is big. It's big, and it's definitely one that I think will be respected for a long time. I mean, he's going to go down as one of the best ever, you know, pure point guards to come out of Chicago. Yeah.
At the close of his junior season, DJ Cooper is on pace to finish with 2,000 points and 900 assists. Only 2 players in NCAA history have reached both these feats.
And then you add in his ability to dominate statistically. He's going to be the career leader in assists. He's going to be the program leader in steals. He might be a 2,000-point scorer by the time he's done. You add that with his ability to make the team better, i.e. tournament appearances, and you know, right now he could go down as the best Ohio player in the program's history.
I want to be one of the best ever that play here. You know, I want to be, you know, one of the best point guards, if not the best point guard that, you know, came to Ohio, you know, until my time.